I think the point of spirituality and spiritual awakening is really quite simple. Um, Enlightenment or awakening or the recognition of our true nature is simply about recognizing deeply and profoundly that we are and everyone is fundamentally, always, intrinsically connected to and inseparable from the source. And the source is not an object. It is the fundamental ground of being, which is pure potentiality. It's not a thing. And further to this, then, spirituality and spiritual awakening and enlightenment and sadhana and spiritual life are about expressing this awareness of oneness as compassion and love in our daily life. It's about the spiritual quest and spiritual awakening, simply put, is about loving God or loving the source, loving the Lord of the universe with all our heart, all our mind, and all our being, and loving our neighbour as ourself. I think Jesus put it so beautifully. And this takes many forms. It shows up uniquely for each individual. There's no, best way to approach this. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There is just consciousness yearning for the recognition of its own nature. Or there is consciousness dancing in the game of hide and seek with itself, as my guru Master Charles used to say. But fundamentally, it's the essence of spiritual life is about knowing you're connected to the source. You're connected to God, or knowing that you are an aspect of an intrinsic and inseparable fundamental expression of the universe, or of the totality of being. And you're connected to the source. Right now, you are connected. Right now, your fundamental essence is non-objective infinity, is the oneness of being, is pure consciousness, is spirit. Earlier today, I was reflecting as I was walking home with my wife's sushi, that the transcendental immanence of the absolute is expressing itself as our everyday, ordinary existence in the world. The transcendental immanence of the absolute is expressing itself as the totality of the universe is expressing itself as you. So next time you're in line for sushi, or, to get on a train and someone bumps you, or it's a long wait, or whatever's happening and something's gone wrong. Remember that in that instant, this is, or that is, the transcendental immanence of the Absolute expressing itself as the universe, which is appearing as that happening in that moment. When let's say you're in bed and you're tossing and turning, you can't get to sleep. Let's imagine either, something happened or something may happen. So maybe you lost your job, or maybe you're worried tomorrow about your performance review. So you can't sleep. Seeker of the Absolute, you're laying there and you can't sleep. My dear, my beloved, remember that in that moment, the transcendental immanence of the Absolute is expressing itself as you're very tossing and turning, my love. You see? It's as much an expression of the Absolute, of the transcendental immanence of the Absolute, when you're tossing and turning and can't sleep, and when you're frustrated about this, that, or the other, as it is when you're sitting to meditate. And the benediction of silence blossoms in your heart. Bless you.